Can we get started?
Yeah, just a sec. Just see something.
The two other cards in the match, they're to be decided.
Those are the Casino Royale gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the old Battle Royal style with that match.
They just have to change it up.
Hate that. Anyway, folks, welcome to tonight's MegaMets Podcast, episode 117.
170? 117? Or is it 170?
117.
We got a ways to go till we reach 200.
Yep, at the pace we move at, we'll be there sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, it's All In, AEW's All In Texas 2025 from the home of the 2023 World Series champion Texas Rangers, Globe Life Park in suburban Dallas. We'll be going snake form, and I think this is the order the card is going to be set up as.
Let's first deal with the pre-show, and we got two of them on the card.
Yep. We'll start with
first. We start ourselves with a tag match. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and
no, the one behind is. Next one on the right is first.
I see. All right, then we'll start with the 0-hour 8-man tag then first. Big Boom, AJ, and the Conglomeration. Hologram, Kyle O'Reilly, and Tomohiro Ishii with Big Justice and the Rizzler in their corner versus Don Callis' family. Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Berretta with Don Callis in their corner.
Celebrity power tends to overflow in AEW. I'll give it to the Conglomeration and Big Boom.
The only thing I hope is that they don't drag the match down.
So who are you taking?
I'm picking the Big Boom. Time for the Don Callis' family to go out with a bang.
Personally, if AEW is to survive, there are three cancers they need to cut. The Young Bucks as in their spots as EVPs. The Death Riders are my number 2 cancer that the company needs to cut away. And the Don Callis family, worst of all. I mean,
yeah.
Don has always been a fucking virus. I mean, what has been many of his pet names in other promotions? In WWF, during the tail end of the New Generation, leaning into the Attitude Era, when he led the Truth Commission, the Jackal. Then he goes to ECW. What's he called? Cyrus the fucking Virus.
Wow.
Now, sure, he's ditched all that for the sake of just going by his real name, but still, he's a parasite no matter where he goes. Next up, the Outrunners against FTR with Stokely Hathaway. I mean, this heel turn by FTR has been very mixed in reception. On the one hand, you knew they were going to turn on Cope at Revolution. On the other hand, it hasn't really led to any success or any desire to pursue the AEW tag titles again.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to give the underdogs a shot. I'm giving the Outrunners.
I'm giving it also to the Outrunners. Now that we got it out of the way, let us begin the main moment. For the AEW World Trios Championship, the Opps, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. Cesaro. I can never stop mentioning that. And Wheeler Yuta and Gabe Kidd.
Think of this, folks, for Gabe Kidd as basically a little something to whet his appetite until next week when he competes in the G1 Climax, where we all know he'll have a target on his back, not so much for his AEW ties, but for the fact he's entering that tournament with the IWGP Global Heavyweight title on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And anyone who beats him will be owed a title shot. Anyone who beats him during the tournament, they're owed a title shot. But do I see the Opps? Do I see the Death Riders getting a W here? In all honesty, the answer is no. Is there really any reason for Kid to be a trios champ? In my view, no. But has AEW pulled this kind of bullshit before and giving one of their men, again, by allowing someone from outside the company to take one of their titles? Yes. I mean, they've done it before the other way around with Moxley holding both the IWGP US title hostage twice and the IWGP World Heavyweight title hostage for a couple of months last year.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm taking the Opps to retain.
I'm also going to do the same.
Next up, for the TNT Championship, the Protostar Kyle Fletcher defends against Adam Cole, baby.
Yes, indeed. For the TNT title. This might prove to be an interesting show.
But there's always been this one problem with the way Tony Khan books shit. He doesn't know how to properly book babyface champions.
Indeed.
I mean, he can book heel champions fine, but I think he's overly self-indulgent in that. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, who wins this match? I don't know. I mean,
I really don't
Cole's
know.
held the belt
Both of them very talented, so it could go either way.
Cole's held the belt since Dynasty, but I haven't seen any of his recent title defenses. Fletcher, on the other hand, a two-time Ring of Honor World TV champ. Basically, he along with Konosuke Takeshita are the new meal tickets for Don Callis. So let's add some meat to the bone. I'll give it to Fletcher.
Interesting.
Who's your pick?
This is a tough one for between those two, between Adam Cole and Cal Fletcher. I'm picking Adam. He'll retain.
Fair enough. You're up.
Okay, now we move on to the AEW World Tag Team Championship 3-way. Oh boy, AEW World Tag Team Title 3-way. Damn it, it's not even on. Is it the World Trios match?
World Tag Team titles.
Oh yeah, the AEW World Tag Team titles. That one's it's gonna be Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay.
Next in between. No, it's this one.
Oh yeah, the AEW. Okay, let's try that again. The Hurt Syndicate, consisting of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP and MJF in their corner, versus Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne.
I've been hearing some scuttlebutt that they might give the titles to Wayne and Christian because of the whole, even though it's kayfabe, father-son dynamic. Because we all know how much of a scumbag Christian is. Would it surprise me if he had an engagement ring in his pocket and popped the question to Mama Wayne? Creepy much?
Yeah.
It would surprise me, but I'd still be creeped out by it. And let's look at the interference factors. Syndicate have MVP and MJF. All the Patriarchy's got is Kip Sabian. We haven't seen Mama Wayne in months, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And Jet Speed has nobody. Unless somehow Kevin is able to use some old MLW contacts and call up the Boomaye Fight Club. Mr. Thomas, Alex Kane, Aaron O'Shea, or whoever it was.
Yeah.
But then again, AEW doesn't. But I doubt it. But then again, anything's possible. I mean, recently in MLW, MJF showed up and attacked Mystico.
I have no words.
Disguised as a member of Contra Unit's Sentai Death Squad. I'm going to go out of left field here and give it to the patriarchy.
If I were to pick, I would also pick the patriarchy. It's high time for the Hurt Syndicate to let go of the titles.
And get hurt themselves.
Exactly.
Tag match. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, the EVPs take on the duo of Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. The stips couldn't be any higher for both sides. If Swerve and Ospreay lose, they're out of the AEW World Title hunt for a year. If the Bucks lose, they are stripped of their positions as EVPs.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the last few months, they've shown an abuse of power and a massive track record of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute they're against the Death Riders. Now they see them as a fucking pack of meal tickets, and they'll do anything to protect them. 1 minute they're in New Japan. They're always against Okada. Now they've been buddy-buddy with the little bastard.
Just wow.
Who do you take?
I'm picking Strickland and Ospreay. Just so that way the Young Bucks can experience their dose of karma.
I can understand that. I'm going to play it safe and say Young Bucks. Mostly because Swerve is pissed that Ospreay would add that stipulation to the tag match. Would it surprise me if Swerve turned on Ospreay and got rewarded for it? No. Would it be another case of Ospreay getting screwed by AEW's bad booking? Yes.
I'm not surprised.
So I'm taking the Bucks for that.
Fair enough. I'm picking the other. Now we reach the Women's Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW Women's World Championship match.
The only thing we do know, Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne are going to start the match. Other participants,
I don't have a prediction for this one.
I mean, we've seen Mina Shirakawa. We've seen Bayne, Lady Frost. I'm going to be blunt. I don't know who else is in the AEW women's division.
I don't know either. I don't even watch AEW.
Neither do I, to be honest. After the Mob Draw app got shut down in 21, I've basically been cut off from All Elite. And that was cut off just for getting accused of pirating cricket games.
Pirating cricket games? What? I have no words, honestly. I don't have the right words to process this.
You and me both, brother. Then again, I don't have words to process how bored I was in Pigeon Forge a couple of weeks back.
I know.
Seriously, Sorbo, you need to be more aware of your surroundings when booking conventions.
Jesus. I got no prediction on this one. I got none.
I'm going to say Megan Bayne.
That's fair. I got none because I don't really know much about their women's division at all. Not even with the next one on the card. The men's Casino Gauntlet match.
At least we have a few people in this match we do know. Mark Briscoe and MJF will start with Bandito, Brody King, Mystico, and Ricochet also announces entrance.
Interesting.
For Mark and Mystico, it's to get payback on MJF. For the former, basically saying that Jay is looking down on Mark in disappointment.
An immeasurable disappointment.
You do realize Mark takes that as an insult, not just to the memory of his brother, but to his family, right?
Yeah.
And for Mystico, it was for ripping the mask off.
Yikes.
And then invading MLW and attacking him.
Dang. Just dang.
I narrowed it down to MJF and Ricochet, but I'm going to go Ricochet. What about you?
I'm also going to pick Ricochet. I'm playing it safe with this one.
Fair enough. You're up.
Okay, now we reach for the AEW United Championship. Unified Championship. And this is a winner take all. On one side, Kazuchika Okada, the Continental Champion, versus the International Champion, Kenny Omega.
If you ask me, this is 7 or 8 years too late. Anyone who watched New Japan from 2015 to around 2019, which many view as the peak, the 4 matches between these two men from Wrestle Kingdom 11, Dominion 2017, G1 Climax 27, B Block Final, and Dominion 2018, no time limit, 2 at best of 3, are legendary matches that stack on top of each other perfectly. I mean, there are people like Jim Cornette who threw shade on the Wrestle Kingdom 11 match. I was captivated by it. Then when I saw the rematch at Dominion, I was like, holy fuck, they actually topped it. The G1 Climax match, you knew it wasn't going to top the Dominion match because of the shorter time limit, but you figured this is where Kenny was going to earn his way into another title shot down the line. And it's also tied into Kota Ibushi coming back that year to compete in G1 27. And it ultimately led to the reunion of the Golden Lovers, the split amongst Bullet Club between the OGs and the Elite, and the culmination of Kenny basically doing it. 64 minutes of wrestling mastery between him and Okada, where he finally climbed the mountain and became the first Canadian to become IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
That's insane.
And had Kenny and the Bucks, along with Cody, decide to not form All Elite, Okada would have gotten the title back at the G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden.
So true.
That said, Kenny is going in with some big handicaps. 2 feet of his small intestine removed to save his life. Don Callis now in Okada's corner. So it's a massive role reversal for the cleaner. Can he overcome it?
I don't know. This might prove to be an interesting game, to say the least.
Let's whip it out.
Whip out the coin.
Heads, Okada. Tails, Omega.
Flip it. So what's the result?
Unfortunately for me, it's heads. I'm going to go Okada. You're probably going Omega.
I'm picking Omega. Sorry, but this is a divisive choice.
Fair enough. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Toni Storm takes on TBS champion and a bitch who's got a multitude of titles on her waist. They can barely see the rest of her form. Mercedes Monet, the CEO, Mercedes Monet.
Yep.
I'm really not a fan of the way Tony has overbooked Monet to the moon and back with all these titles, especially the year-plus reign she's had as TBS champion.
I have to agree with you on this.
Does Monet win this title and become the GOAT of women's wrestling?
Well, only time will tell with this one.
Or does Tony cling on to the title? She's had it for about 4 months since winning it back at Grand Slam in her home nation of Australia.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on this. This might be a tough one. Mercedes Moné has way too many championships to make a name for herself on that one.
I mean, true. She recently did lose the strong women's title, but that was only to shut up the smarks like us who said she was too overbooked, booked too strongly, across the board. Right?
Yep.
And that's the only reason she dropped it, to simply shut us up. And then she goes out of her way to win another title. Which title else does she have right now? Excuse me a minute, folks.
Go ahead.
Mercedes Justine Castagnoli Varnado. Yes, that is her full name. Current championships and accomplishments. AWTBS champion. CMLL World's Women's Champion.
That's a lot.
Revolution Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion. What the fuck are the other titles she's been carrying around lately?
I wonder about that.
European Wrestling Association Women's Champion. Never heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Wow.
I'm giving it to Tony.
I'm letting Tony retain. Sorry, Mercedes. And now we reach the main event. A Texas death match for the AEW World title. And for whatever reason, oh yeah, it is in the card. It's at number 4. Should have been the main event, for God's sake. The champion, Jon Moxley, faces the challenger, Hangman Adam Page.
Tony, I'm going to be fucking blunt. People are sick of the Death Rider's angle. Enough is enough. You've only got 2 options left. Either 1, you pull the trigger and put the belt on Hangman, which I don't like, but I wouldn't be opposed to at this point. Or 2, bring Darby Allin back at All In, have him challenge Moxley to get the belt off him at Forbidden Door at the soonest, at the latest, September the 20th, at All Out in the Scotiabank Center in Toronto. Yeah, for the first time, this year will mark the first time All Out will not be held in Chicago.
I'm surprised.
Probably mostly as a cost-cutting measure.
I guess they're not doing well financially, I'm afraid.
Yet their ratings have been up slightly in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Or option 3, I do what I said I do to you last night. I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to change the script and get your ugly, yellow, dim-witted, no good keister out of AEW before I pump your guts full of lead. 1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I figured.
Can't blame me. This Death Rider bullshit's gone on long enough.
I'm basically going to make my vote now. Because who's to say that Tony won't basically fuck it all up?
Which he usually does, because he's more interested in pushing heel champions, because he can't write a babyface one to save his fucking ass.
Of course he can't. You forget that he's the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're a pretty lousy team.
True. I mean, they basically ruined Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Still won't forgive him for that.
I'm taking Hangman. Fingers crossed.
I'm also taking Hangman.
Time for cowboy shit again. As much as I don't want it, I prefer Darby, but take what you can get. That's it for tonight's episode of the MegaMets. For those wondering, no, we will not be covering All In, but I will be watching tomorrow night's WWE Saturday Night Main Event. Will Gunther be the fun? Where we know for Goldberg, it's not who's next, it's who's last. And for him, it's Gunther. They really need to make it a world title match for him. I get it's in his hometown of Atlanta, but still, you know he's going to go out flat on his back. Right?
Yeah.
Especially when people don't want to see Goldberg with a fucking title. His wrestling style is one-dimensional. He has no character. He's responsible for Bret Hart's career.
He's just lame.
He was booked to hell and back and overbooked in WCW from the minute he arrived in 1997. And his movie career sucks.
Yeah.
Why do you think the most memorable film he's in is a damn direct-to-video Christmas slasher comedy called Santa's Sleigh?
That sucked.
Tell me about it. I've watched it. It does get a few laughs from me, but not a lot. And that was the film where he actually met his wife. When he gets into the ring, qualifies to wrestle, I really hope Goldberg's influence doesn't bleed into his son when it comes to his wrestling style.
Yeah.
Gage needs a better repertoire than what his father had. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. We're done for tonight. I think the next time we'll be on will be like near the end of July when the N1 victory gets announced. And then on August 1st, we'll be on for SummerSlam predictions.
Indeed. I'll be there for that.
Goodbye and good effing night. Bang.
Bang.
See you at the end of the month.
Indeed. I'll see you then.